making some of the like PN junction stuff we were doing or things in NanoLab. There was a grad student there doing most of the physical prep and actually like operating the ovens and things like that.
So what would you do?
You're there and
You're
like you
just
can
there.
yeah, you're like observing, but you would do some steps, but there was a grad student or professor right there kind of like, you know, ushering you along to do it how they wanted it done, right? But here it's been a lot more, I mean, I'd say it's similar, even though I'm a grad student. Like I'd say Max and Jeremy as undergrads were doing a lot of their own, like we just tell them what to do and they just do it. So like I felt like it's been more hands-on here. That might be an experience specifically in this lab, in this program. Like I'm not sure that's true for all physics students or whatever, but
Well, if I'm not mistaken, we are the only industry partnership. That
right,
could be
probably.
wrong in the
Is the
in the university.
The Worth stuff upstairs? That's not the coastal
They're
stuff.
they're
doesn't
funded
count. Yeah, they're
by
funded
the Worth Family Foundation, but they're not.
You keep going, keep rolling. I can crop stuff out. Let's
Yeah.
just keep it calm like this, like an interview, like we're on, like we're on some
So-
very relaxing, like Drew Barrymore.
Go back to why you chose
Yeah, we'll go back to the
Southern.
beginning.
Sure.
Why Southern?
So I went to a few. I guess I'll start. I was working in industry at an aerospace company here in Connecticut, and I started to go to some like open houses. I went to Central. I came here to Southern. I was looking at UNH and UConn, and some other reasonably local colleges. But when I came to the graduate open house here, I talked to Professor Horsch, and he told me about the applied physics program here. And he said there was a concentration in nanotechnology as an option compared, and there was also an optics one. But he said that honestly the nanotechnology concentration was very similar to some of the electrical engineering type master's programs I was looking at in some ways. Yeah, I found it really interesting as I looked at the actual like curriculum and stuff, and yeah, that's
So you signed up, and how long have you been here now?
about a year. It's about halfway through.
And do you feel like you're getting enough guidance? Do you have enough, like they have enough trust in you to do your own labs by yourself?
Oh yeah, it's been great. Working here specifically in the CNT as one of like the Worth fellows.
And when you
yeah,
say
it's been
Worth,
great.
what does that mean?
Oh, so it's like a
Worth Fellowship.
program that the Worth Family Foundation like funds for a lot of us students to. It's like a scholarship program, I guess, is the best way to put it, right?
Yeah.
But it's been really great. It's been letting me come here and work in the lab, and I work with Professor Sadowski and Professor Broadbridge, and Professor. I don't know if Professor Wu's technically like affiliated, but
He is, yeah.
he's been very helpful
Yeah.
with some of the equipment too, and yeah, so it's really allowed me to work with the battery recycling company.
So you're doing battery reclamation right now?
Yeah, so it's lithium battery recycling is
Is
the
that
goal.
common? Lithium batteries, do we use that often?
Yes, I mean they're the most common battery types used in all major battery applications, really.
Like cars, phones, that kind of stuff? So
Right.
it's a pretty big impact, yeah?
Yeah, I mean there's some interesting data projections that like the reason that company is so important potentially is in the next like 5 to 10 years, as all the lithium ion batteries in like EVs now are starting to die from old age.
Yeah.
Like, we're selling a lot more cars right now than we were at, like, the sales have been ramping up of EVs, right? So
Yeah, electric cars. Mhm.
yeah, and we're gonna end up with this just mountain of millions of dead
Batteries.
like millions of tons of dead batteries.
And you really can't just throw those in a, you know,
It's extremely
dump pile. It's-
inefficient to just throw them out, right?
they're kind of toxic.
Oh yeah, extremely not good for
The
the
environment.
landfill and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're not really well recycled currently.
Mm-hmm.
It's really like they recycle them now as if they were recycling the way they recycle like aluminum cans, and it's really not an efficient way that a lot of these large lithium battery recyclers are currently recycling the batteries. So it's not done very cost effectively right now.
Okay.
But this company we're working
So
with.
what you're doing is you're trying to make it more effective and efficient?
Oh yeah, that's the entire goal. That this company we're working with, they think they've come up with a new, novel, potentially disruptive way
Oh, wow.
to drastically simplify the recycling process of these batteries so that it could be way more cost effective and simpler, and ultimately, you know, would really incentivize companies doing it.
Yeah.
But it also helps for a lot of reasons, because right now lithium is kind of not extremely abundant. So it's mined mostly in like China, and then a lot of the cobalt in the batteries is mined mostly in the Congo, which is even worse for a supply chain and human
Yeah.
rights
Yeah.
reasons. So if we could actually be recycling at a high percentage yield of our dead battery cells, you don't need as much of that new lithium in the
Right.
supply chain coming in, and that's really the goal of.
It's almost like being more self-sufficient.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly that. Like, then you're not as reliant on China, their lithium mining supply. And I mean, even Elon Musk has been like trying to promote entrepreneurs getting into lithium mining here in the U.S. even.
Oh,
But if we were recycling it much more efficiently,
we wouldn't need it as much.
right,
Yeah,
right.
Which is even better.
I mean, ideally, you'd get to the point where it could even just really self-sustain itself,
That'd be great.
needing almost no.
What if you said one more thing about why this company approached us, why they approached the
Why do you think that the company approached Southern Connecticut State University to work with them on recycling batteries instead of another place?
Well, that's a good question. Well, first of all, they started here in New Haven, pretty much. But I mean, obviously, there's another big research university in New Haven, being Yale. But they did come here to Southern because we have the CNT, the Center for Nanotechnology, here at Southern, not at Yale. And we have a lot of microscopy and chemical characterization equipment here, down here in the lab.
So you have very specialized microscopes and things. And
Yes,
equipment.
yes,
Nice.
extremely expensive, specialized microscopy equipment. And this is actually, I think this is correct, Rich, like this is the official center for all of Connecticut schools is our CNT here, right?
in the Connecticut state system, yes.
Yeah.
We are the
Okay.
Center for Nanotechnology.
So that's something a lot of people
That's
don't know,
pretty
actually.
neat.
Yeah.
Pretty prestigious.
Yeah, that's here at Southern, actually. It's not
It's not at
UConn
Central
or Yale or anything
another
like that.
school.
It's
Yeah.
here.
Great.
So yeah, I think that's
What a great
big
resource.
reason. Yeah. And they've been leveraging our equipment a lot, and a lot of our chemical testing capabilities. So yeah, I think that's a big reason they partnered with us, and other companies have also done the same for a lot of characterization.
What's your ultimate end goal? Like what kind of, I know you enjoy working with the reclaiming batteries. Do you want to have a career in that, or do you want to go a different direction using your experience and your, your degree?
Good question. I've talked with the professors a good bit on that. Originally, I came back to potentially move from industry, potentially more into academia, but I also came back to potentially help my resume to get better like R&D type jobs.
When you say R&D, what does that mean?
Oh, like research and development roles.
Oh, okay.
Because I used to work on an R&D team at an aerospace company here in Connecticut. But yeah, I thought having a more theoretical applied physics master's might help improve my resume to show that, you know, I was
Makes
at a
sense.
cutting edge some of these
And just
high-tech
tell me, we talked a
techniques.
lot of technical, sciencey, fun stuff, but tell me something more personal. Do you have any pets? And what's your favorite food? Let's get light.
I no longer have any pets.
Uh-oh, is that a sore topic? I'm sorry.
Not really, I guess, but actually, a fun fact, I used to have a pet lamb.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, when I
How
lived on
cute.
a farm.
Aw.
But I no longer live on a farm, so
Yeah, can't really have,
yeah, it's
A
hard
lamb in-
hard to have
in your
livestock in
city.
a residential spot.
that's great. What's your favorite food?
Jeez, I guess I'll have to be basic on that and just say pizza, probably.
Pizza. That sounds like something my son would say.
I mean, we're in New Haven,
We
right?
do have good pizza here.
capital.
Yes,
so
yes. All right. Well, thank you for sharing.
Great,
I will
thanks.
send you
I think
that.
we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.